Every species that has ever lived shares one thing. Almost all of them are already gone. More than 99% of all species that ever existed are extinct. The dinosaurs ruled the Earth for over 150 million years. We have been here, in our modern form, for barely 300,000. So it is worth asking a very uncomfortable question. Will humanity go extinct too? When you picture the end of humanity, you probably imagine a bang, a sky full of nuclear fire, a lab-made virus slipping out into the world, a super-intelligent machine that decides it no longer needs us, or a giant asteroid, like the one that erased the dinosaurs. These are the endings we make movies about, and they are worth taking seriously. A full nuclear exchange could throw so much smoke into the sky that crops fail for years. One study estimates that kind of nuclear winter could starve around 5 billion people. An engineered pandemic could be far deadlier than anything nature has sent us, and nobody fully understands what advanced artificial intelligence will do next. The asteroid, at least, is the one threat we can see coming. In 2022, we even crashed a spacecraft into one, just to practice pushing it off course. Researchers who study these risks think the danger this century is real. The philosopher Toby Ord puts the odds of a civilization-ending catastrophe this century at roughly 1 in 6. 1 in 6. The same odds as a single roll of a die. So yes, the loud endings are possible, but here is the strange part. While we are all watching the sky for the bang, the clearest sign of humanity fading is already here. And it is almost completely silent. It is not a weapon, or a virus, or a machine. It is a number. The number of children being born. To keep a population steady, each generation needs to roughly replace itself. That works out to about 2.1 children per woman. That figure has a name: the replacement rate. For most of human history, we were far above it. Today, more than half the world lives below it. And in some countries, birth rates have not just dipped, they have collapsed. Look at South Korea. Its birth rate has fallen to around 0.7 children per woman. That is the lowest ever recorded for an entire country. Think about what that means over time. If 100 people are replaced by roughly 35 in the next generation, and those 35 are again replaced by a third, the population does not just shrink. It caves in on itself, generation after generation. Japan is further down this road than almost anyone. More than 1 in 10 of its people is now over the age of 80. Children are the smallest share of the population ever recorded there. Entire towns are emptying out. Schools are closing. Homes are being abandoned faster than anyone can fill them. And this is not only happening in Asia. Germany has recorded more deaths than births every single year since 1972. For more than 50 years straight, the only thing keeping its population from shrinking has been immigration. Its birth rate sits around 1.4, and it has one of the oldest populations on the planet. And this is not some far-off, poor corner of the world. These are some of the richest, most advanced nations on Earth. So the question becomes, why? Why exactly, when life gets safe and comfortable, do we stop having children? Part of the answer is simply that, for the first time in history, having children is a choice. Modern birth control and family planning mean a child is now a decision, not an inevitability. And more people are quietly deciding, not yet, or not at all. Another part is time. We spend our 20s in long education, then building a career. By the time life feels stable enough for a family, the biological window has often already started to close. Raising a child has also become extraordinarily expensive. Housing, education, childcare. In many cities, a family feels like a luxury. And there is one more piece, quieter than the rest. For most of history, people had very little to do in the evenings but be with each other. Today, we have endless entertainment competing for that same time. Streaming, gaming, social feeds, and everything else designed to keep us glued to a screen. In Japan and South Korea, surveys find a striking number of young adults are simply not dating, not partnering, and not having sex at all. When a screen is easier and safer than another person, many people quietly choose the screen. None of these choices are wrong. Each one, on its own, is perfectly reasonable. But add them all together, across an entire society, and you get a civilization that is slowly, comfortably forgetting to replace itself. So is this really extinction? Here is where we have to be honest, because the answer is almost certainly no, at least not soon. The world population is still growing right now. The United Nations expects us to peak at around 10 billion people in the 80s, before the numbers start to gently fall. And we should be humble about predictions like this. 50 years ago, the great fear was the opposite. Too many people, mass starvation. That overpopulation catastrophe never arrived. Humans adapt. Policies change, cultures shift, and technology surprises us. Shrinking is not the same as vanishing. But there is one detail that should give us pause. So far, not a single country has truly reversed a deep fall in births. South Korea has spent hundreds of billions of dollars trying to raise its birth rate. For almost 2 decades, it kept falling anyway. Very recently, it ticked up, barely, to about 0.75. Still only a third of what replacement takes. Because a society with fewer children today has fewer possible parents tomorrow. The trend quietly reinforces itself. So maybe humanity does not end in fire. Maybe there is no bang at all. Maybe it fades, slowly, in comfortable, well-lit rooms, one unhad child at a time. The dinosaurs never saw their ending coming. They had no say in it. We are the first species that gets to choose. And without ever quite deciding to, we may already be answering the question. Before you go, we put a lot of work into these videos. So if this one was worth your time, a quick like genuinely helps us out. And if you don't want to miss the next one, consider subscribing. We'd also love to hear what you think. Leave a comment with your thoughts or an idea for a future video. We try to read every single one. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.